Hi, I'm DrewMan. Welcome to my modest mansion.
Love this time of year. Look at all the colors. This is great.
I take it all back. This sucks.
Feeling the burn from my 9 to 5. End of the week, but I'm still alive. It's gone too slow, that ticking the talk. Can't take these eyes off of that old box. But it's almost time for the moon to shine and forget that work that put it all behind. Come twilight, we're gonna get real high. Can you feel the vibe? This is why we all came here tonight. You can feel it in the air. Yeah, something
Where'd Daisy go?
we all share. Grab a solo cup, get on the moon till you head back and
They're not as soft as they were when I was a kid. Well guys, it's official. Seasons are starting to change. You know what that means. It's gonna start snowing soon. So today we're working on the old LT2000 lawn tractor. We're going to take the deck off of it and work on putting the blower on. So I'm gonna pull it up here on the driveway, take the deck off. I want to wash the whole thing because it's pretty greasy and grimy. Then we'll get started seeing if I have all the parts to mount up that blower. First I gotta get my trailer off. Looks like the tire could use some wind. We're going to take this opportunity to go ahead and clean this thing up. Like I said, it's a greasy mess under the hood. So thankfully our friends at Super Clean sent us over some degreasers. So used these a few times now and it works really good. So available at most local retailers.
And this is why we all came here tonight. You could feel it in the air. It's something we all share. Grab a solo cup, get in the mood. Tilt your head back and taste the brew. This is our time. Whoa, everything is gonna be alright. Friday night, whoa, Friday night, oh Friday night, whoa, this is how we Friday night.
This thing cleaned up real nice. The first step to putting this blower on, we gotta mount these plates here on the front. This tractor was something that my in-laws gifted to us when we bought this house. The blower was something that I just found on Marketplace. Being that it's a used blower off of Marketplace, it's missing a lot of the hardware. He did give me some of it, but a lot of the hardware is missing. So I'm just kind of making do with what I have. It's supposed to have thread forming bolts, so basically like a 3/8 self-tapping bolt to go in here. And I don't have those. And then these are too short to still catch the threads. The other side I had to run the tap through these. It seems like it's actually going in. We'll run the tap through that hole.
Seems like they just don't get off.
It also says to put some spacers in there and lock washers. So I'm just gonna use some blue Loctite. Just like that. You want it dripping off the bolt. That's how you know you have enough.
They try to control what we say. Funny things will never go away.
placement on that bracket isn't exactly the best, but hopefully that little knob is in the right spot. Crank her down, it'll just bend. It's good. Take the time to read the instructions. There's a left and a right one. The antler sticks different directions on it. The holes are in different spaces. Spaces, places, whatever.
Guess they've never been in someone else's shoes. It's who we are. We drink iced tea out of jars. We ride in trucks, put our time in at the phone. Yeah. Nothing wrong with a little southern charm. It's who we are.
So those are on. Awesome.
Raised to have a loving heart. If they try to change us, they won't get very far. And what's a song without a steel guitar? It's who we are. It's who we are. We've all seen better days, but I guess it all depends. Keep pointing that finger at us, there'll be three pointing back at them. Who we are, we drink iced tea out of jars. We ride in trucks, put our time in at the phone. Yeah. Nothing wrong with a little southern charm. It's who we are. Born and raised to have a loving heart. If they try to change us, they won't get very far. And what's a song without a steel guitar? It's who we are. It's who we are. It's who we are.
You brushing the spiders off? Alright guys, that's going to be it for the snowblower install. So the install for these is pretty simple. I didn't have like most of the hardware that you're supposed to have, but we made do without. I just like to point out, look how nice that Super Clean does. This sucker looks brand new. And not just like the engine bay. Like, I mean, my dad even said it was looking brand new. Look at these wheels. And I didn't even use the wheel cleaner. But anyways, there's these front brackets that get mounted. Depending on what tractor you have, there's a lot of different ways that they get mounted. So you have to figure out what style of tractor you have. For mine, you take out the top two front axle cross member bolts, and then there's another front bolt here. You're supposed to have like a giant 3/8 self tapper. I didn't, so I just used a tap and tap the holes and then just put 3 bolts in. There's a 1/2-inch washer that goes behind there to space that out. Underneath, there's this whole assembly here that gets mounted. And depending on what style of PTO you have, I have a cable style PTO engagement. So there's a special bracket that you have to put on that you can't see behind here. These brackets here, you have to put 4 washers behind them to space them in. These front brackets have 1 washer behind them to space them. And then these are your tensioners. This one tensions the auger drive belt. And then this top belt from the engine to the idle assembly. And there's another chain like this on the other side for that one. It's got this front bracket that you bolt up, and then the back is supposed to go onto a shoulder bolt, which would make it way easier to mount because you just slide it onto that shoulder bolt and then pop these pins in. But I did not have the shoulder bolts. I might order them, but you can just use a regular bolt instead, and that's what we did on both sides. And then on this side, this is the tensioner for the idle assembly. It's pretty much the same thing on this side. 4 washers, 1 washer up there. This front mount, the rear one's just bolted. Look how clean this side is too. This is basically the same as the other side too. We tap these holes and then just put bolts in those. And then up front here, it's supposed to have shoulder bolts on the bottom and then a pin up top. which would make it way easier to put this on, because you basically just drop this pin out and then you could just kind of drive out of the thing. But we didn't have these shoulder bolts, and I only got one of these pins. So on this side we bolted the bottom, and then on the other side we just bolted top and bottom. The bottom is a 3/8, the top is a 1/2 inch. I do need to adjust these shoes on the front. I want to bring them down so that the cutting edge is off the ground, because we have a gravel driveway here, so that way it's not scraping up dirt and throwing rocks into my yard, and it'll just leave a little bit of snow. Besides adjusting that, the only thing I need to do is get some sort of wheel weights. This is a heavy unit, it sticks out there quite a ways, so with that lifted up, the rear end of the unit here is pretty light. I did get a set of wheel weights and chains with this, but they are the wrong size. You gotta do some pressure washing. You can do the 15-degree nozzle or the 0. Yeah, you definitely want the 0. So that's it for the snowblower install. It went way smoother than I thought it would, and now we're ready for the snow to fly, so should be exciting to see it work. I definitely do wish I had a cab for it, because that's going to be cold, but it is what it is. I don't think it'll take too long to blow off our driveway. So alright guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed the video, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget to be awesome. Have a nice day.